Hi, this is Kevin Lewis from your CS 138 class, demoing some of the Python resources that Maricosta has available for the course. So I do recommend you logging into what we have as our virtual machine solution, which is VMware, and basically it's a virtual machine that has all our software on it. So if you go to https view.maricosta.edu as shown here in the address bar, you should get a page that looks like that. What I'm going to show you is through the VMware Horizon client, which basically installs on your computer, and then you have access to the virtual machines. You can also do it through the HTTP or HTML access, which is basically just a web page. I find the client does provide superior kind of usability. So after installing that, going out to and opening up the Horizon, you should get a page that looks like this. You do need to add a new server in, and then that new server name should be view.maricosta.edu. When you click on that and open up that server, basically you'll be prompted with the username and password. Enter your surf ID and password, and then you should be able to log in. And what should then pop up is a CS student. Double clicking that will bring you into the VMware client. Starting from that, essentially you'll end up with a page that looks similar to this. Obviously mine's a little bit different as it's been customized kind of to what I have. So this is our kind of environment. I'm going to show you two different utilities today that we'll be using in our class. I do like PyCharm the best. However, it is a little heavier and does take a little bit of time to start up and everything. But we'll go through the steps of that. And also we'll go through the built-in Python tool, idle, which kind of is very quick and easy, but it doesn't provide a lot of the functionality that PyCharm will. So what I've done over here is have the chaos.py program that's in the first chapter, or first or second chapter of your book. That kind of demonstrates a simple Python program. So we have Python chaos.py, and basically it's not really chaotic behavior, but it's just basically doing a math problem, multiplying it out, and then printing that result a few times out here. So if we take this solution, what I'm going to do is first go into idle and kind of show you that. So if we go into idle, basically what this does is opens up a terminal, essentially a Python. You do have the full interactive ability of Python in this window. However, it's not very great to run tools. I do use this though for kind of as a quick and dirty calculator, so you can enter in mathematical equations and get answers for that. So you have the full ability of Python commands at this shell. You can even create methods and have them, but they're only available in this program. However, to kind of go through and show you how to run a program, basically you come up to File, New File, and it opens up this basically editor window. So if we take our program that we've created over here and copy it into here, you'll notice that we do get some coloring information, which basically kind of shows you a little bit clearer of what's happening. You'll notice that the red up here is what we know, or what we call as comment blocks. So any line in Python that has the hash symbol basically is a comment block, or anything after that. Here is our main method that we'll be running. So this basically creates a method, and basically we can see some of the commands in here printing out the string. It asks us to enter a number, which we'll enter, and then that gets assigned to X. And then this little loop here, which we'll learn about in a little bit, basically executes 10 times, printing out the results each time. And this last line basically is just telling us that we'll run the main method here. So I've copied that here. I'm ready to essentially run it. I do need to save this, so I'll just save it here. Hopefully, let me just make sure. I think I can just save it to the desktop here. This was already created from this met call, so I'll just call this chaos1.py just to kind of save it as a different file. So here we have that same file being able to run. I should probably change that to match. And then we can actually run our module here. So when we hit run module, it actually goes back to our terminal and actually executes the program that we're trying to run. So as you can see, it printed out this line, and then it's asking me to enter a number between 0 and 1. I'm going to do what the book typically does, which is 0.15, and then I'm going to hit enter. From that, it will then calculate the various results 10 times. So we could count that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, which is basically doing this little loop here and prints out the answer here 10 times. So that kind of gives you a quick overview of how we would run it in idle. And you can do all your work in here. Again, you can make little changes. So if we wanted to do another print statement, we could just print it out twice, for example. And then we can just go back to running the module, which will again get another prompt. So if we do that same answer, we'll see every output of the loop doubled up here. Okay, so the next solution or option that we have is PyCharm. This is obviously a little bit more heavyweight, but I believe it provides a more professional environment. So instead of I'm calling it Untitled, I'm just going to call it my project solution here, or CS138, and then I'm just going to create it. So basically it goes through and sets up a solution here. Again, this is going to take a little bit longer as it's kind of setting up a whole suite of things that typical Python projects get created with. Again, this is way overkill for the course. However, it is a nicer option, and hopefully later in the semester I'll kind of show you how you can debug your projects in a little nicer manner with this tool here. So we have our kind of a high-level solution here, project. Here at this level, we'll just create a new Python file, and we'll just call it oops. Sorry, let's go back here. New, I think I accidentally hit my mouse pad. So I'll just call this chaos.py and hit enter, which will then create a Python file called chaos.py. So if we take our original chaos file, just copy and move it into PyCharm, again, we'll see similar things where the color of the text of the comments are different, strings get different colors, as well as you can kind of see the main blocks of the program here. Okay, so this is basically where we're ready to essentially run our program. Next, we kind of need to set it up to basically run. If you right-click into the box here, you'll basically get various options. Here, because it can detect that we want to try to run this program, so we can basically hit Run Chaos, and it should create a configuration to essentially run our file. So here, it's a little bit different of running it in that we just right-click in here and hit Run, and then we get the little terminal down here at the bottom. So if we hit 0.15 right here and then hit enter, we should get the exact same answers that we got before. It appears we do. And then it gets output right here. Again, for the class, when you're taking screenshots of this, or whatever, or yeah, when you're taking screenshots, you can do it in here of your program running, and you can use essentially the snipping tool in Windows to basically take that, kind of block out the area that you're interested in taking, and then taking a screenshot of that, saving it, and kind of grouping everything together here. So that's what I kind of wanted to show you guys as the tools available to you. Again, feel free to email me any questions, comments, or things that you have, but those are two options that you guys have available to basically write and run your Python programs. Thank you, and I'm sure we'll be talking to each other throughout the semester. Bye-bye.